Right, I've been asked several times about how to do sheeting of wings with plywood sheeting and get them round this tight radius. So I thought we'd do a quick little tutorial about how I do it. The plywood here is 0.8 of a millimetre, which dispels some of the rumours people have got about using the PVA let it dry method. But this is how I'm going to take this piece of plywood round this very tight radius to carry on the next bit of the wing scheme. The first thing I'm going to do is pull it back as far as it wants to go, and then normal scrubbing brush, and this is just cold water, nothing special here, don't need too much because it runs all over the bench, and I'm going to start working the plywood. Okay. I'm pulling this quite hard to get this as tight as possible and also to open up the grain in the wood. And the little scouring job is just forcing the water into obviously the first layer of plywood. It's not going to go through any further because the glue joint in the laminations of the plywood, but I'm really pulling this very, very hard here, absolutely as hard as I can do. And I'll scrub this for a bit. Quite painful on the fingers doing this with 0.8 ply. 0.6 or 0.4, it's an absolute doddle. But got to rest for a minute, that's actually quite painful. But I've got enough on there, and now I'm taking a bog standard heat sealing iron, and this is the trick. It's turned up flat out, it's ready to go as hot as it will go. And again, I'm going to get hold of this and pull it as hard as possible, and now this is the trick. I don't know if that's in the way so you can actually see what I'm doing here, but I'm going to start under here, and you can hear it steaming, and I'm going to work this round the job. Still pulling as hard as I can. I should have said beforehand that I've already spread PVA onto the model, so it's actually activating the glue. And now you can see it's pretty much steamed its way round the leading edge. So I can rest that hand for a minute because we're pretty much there now. So what I'm going to do now is work along each rim to iron the sheeting into place. Slight undercamber on this wing, so I'm going to have to work it all the way along, get it to sit down nicely. So that one, bring this one back now. You've got to be careful that you don't push into the sheeting between the ribs when doing this, because even at 0.8 ply, with the amount of pressure I'm applying, you can bend the sheet between the ribs, and then of course it actually forms up a longer distance and won't lay flat. So that's it, pretty much down. Now the important point now is to dry the wood with the iron, because we don't want any swelling of the wood, want to keep it all even. I don't know if you can get in closer here, Al, and see what's actually happening. It's all being filmed on a handheld tablet, so if there's any shakiness in it, apologise. See the idea here. Now, one more important thing to do. Once you've got this, I'm just checking that it's all tacked down on here. As you run your hand over it, you can feel if it's lifting anywhere, or you can even hear it, that it clicks slightly on the glue joint. But that's good. Right, get the water off the bench. And now I need to turn the wing over. This is quite an important part of the job. All this water on here, I'm going to dry that over, but what I'm also going to do, this first part was put on dry, is I'm going to use this excess water, drying it by steaming it, and it takes some of the set and load out of the wood on this side. So in effect we're steaming it the same way, and that will de-stress the wood. It also dries it rather conveniently, stops the grain being lifted. But you can see as I'm going along here, I'm actually drying the wood out. See a little clicky there, so I can just press that down, dry the wood out with the iron. And that's it, job done, ready for the next sheet. To be trimmed to size, off we go. Thank you.